Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Our prelude today will be given to you by the choir. This is our first choir Sunday since the COVID started, official, not with a band, just choir Sunday. This is the first one since COVID, and it was such a joy to sing with everybody this morning. So listen closely because this is also the first hymn, St. Francis Prayer.
That was beautiful. Is this working? Okay. All right. Good morning. I'm Susie Schrader, and I have lost more name tags than most people have. So anyway, I've got two if you see them around somewhere. Welcome to this gathering of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious tradition that values freedom in religious thought and journey. And I'm happy to be one of the few people that have been raised Unitarian and have never known anything else. We uphold the unity of our interconnections, connections to each other, to all of life, and to the precious universe of which we are a part. We affirm the universality of love and hope as we journey together in community. And we welcome you, whoever you are at this moment, and wherever you are in your spiritual journey. For those joining us for the first time on Facebook, please check out our website at uufayetteville.org and for more information and to sign up to receive the weekly email, which you can unsubscribe from at any time, so it's no risk. For those of us visiting in person today, you'll find in the seat back in front of you an information card that we'd love to have you fill out so you can get on our email list. And to keep you informed about happenings, and if you already gave your name to Fawn to get on the list, you don't have to do it again. And we also have a Joys and Concerns card in the seat back, and if you have a joy or concern you'd like to share, we invite you to fill out the card. There's a place to indicate if you want it shared or if you want it confidential, and then we'll just give it to leadership. In a few moments, you'll have an opportunity to bring the card up here and drop a stone if you wish. If you want, you may drop a stone even if you don't fill out a card. If you're watching on Facebook, you may write your joys and concerns in the comments there at the time, but please remember that those are public. There's no way to keep them confidential. We have a staff nursery downstairs headed up by very capable Alex Emmons, who is doing a great job. I just had a chat with her about trying to upgrade the facilities down there, and I'm going to share what she told me. So if you have any toys that your kids have outgrown, check with her and see if we can use it, because they would like to have some new materials down there, and it's always good to re-gift stuff instead of have to worry about buying it. Okay, so now Rev Stephen and Dallas will call us into worship.
Thank you, Susie. I don't always wear a mask. I don't have COVID. I tested. But I don't know what I have, so I decided to wear this out of respect, trying to be responsible. Our call to worship this morning was written by Melissa Jeter, a librarian and a Unitarian Universalist seminarian. And it's called Love is My Guide, and it's modeled from an ancient Jewish poem/prayer. Love is my guide, I shall not falter. Love calls me to rest when I feel disconnected. Beloveds, lead me to deep waters where I sit to think in solitude. My mind and heart reshape and adapt. Love allows my ego to slowly sink. Though I move through the valley of chaos and inequity, I shall keep my heart open, for there is elegance in patterns seen over time. Love is my breath of breath. And just as long as I have breath, I will keep steadfast on a moral path. Now, Dallas will light our chalice.
Thank you, Reverend Stephen. In ARE this morning, we had a great presentation on paganism, and one of the things that I learned is that a ritual done repeatedly over and over can create a little bit of magic in our lives. So if you choose, join us in one of our rituals, which is the lighting of the chalice. The words are on the screen and in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and truth, and to help one another. Thus do we covenant together.
Friends, let's rise if you are able in body or spirit. And we are going to do the St. Francis prayer together again. This is going to be a round. There will be this side, led by the choir. This side, Melly will lead. And I know you're not all in the choir, but I just have to say this. Don't make this necessarily about the notes and the rhythm. Just feel this. Let this be in your hearts. 3, 4, all together. May I be an instrument of peace. May I be an instrument of peace. One more time in unison. May I be an instrument of peace. May I be an instrument of peace. Okay, this side starts it. May I be an instrument of peace. 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 Last time. May I be an instrument of peace. May I be an instrument of Lovely, you may be seated.
Thank you, choir. I'm going to carry that with me all week. All right, today's story is in memory of Bert Bacharach, who passed this week. What the world needs now is love. Join me with this part, will you? What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. Beautiful. We're going to do that again in a minute. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. Join me again. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Oh, listen, Lord, if you want to know what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. Thank you, friends.
The sharing of joys and concerns is a special part of our services. Almost every one of our services has this opportunity to celebrate each other's joys and to lighten the load of concerns. If you want, feel free to come to the front and drop a stone for any joy or concern. It may be shared or confidential, expressed or held in your heart. As you drop your stone, may you experience the spreading of love and support. If you filled out a card, bring it up to me now during the process. On the card, please indicate whether your comment is confidential or to be shared. If you need to stay where you are, feel free to raise the card so someone can bring it up and give it to me. If you're attending virtually, you may write your joys and concerns in the comments. Just remember that they are public and not confidential. We drop a stone for joys and concerns not spoken, and we drop another for joys and concerns we will experience in the coming week. Let's have a moment of silence as we hold all these joys and concerns in our hearts.
Thank you, Susie. Our anthem today have the words of the great Ella Baker. Give light, and people will find the way. Teach peace, and people will find the way. Give love, and people will find the way.
Yay, that was great. It's good to have the choir back. Yeah. So it is time for our offering. Do we have our usher? Yes. The important work of this fellowship is possible because of generous contributions of your time, your talent, your energy, and money. Every contribution of every size is helpful and appreciated. Even a penny will help. As we pass the basket, we invite you to share financially, and if you prefer, you may give online at uufayetteville.org, mail checks to our office, and we are also in the process of getting modern and having a phone app for this, so stay tuned for that as we figure out how to do that.
Thought I was going to sit down. A few months ago, I was looking at our service calendar, and I saw that February, our general theme in February was going to be history. And I think it was last February too. And our messages don't always fit with the monthly theme, but we try to have at least a couple in the month along that theme. That way we're not talking about the same stuff over and over and over again. And February also has Valentine's Day. And there were already some other history topics that we were going to consider, and I thought that I would do a short history of love. And that research is very broad. It's hard to condense all of that into a short message. And so I thought, Valentine's Day is right before this Sunday, and so I'll dig into that a little bit. I thought it would be maybe a little boring, but maybe we can find something interesting. It was fascinating. I had no idea of the scandals, plural, in the history of Valentine's Day, because I thought it was just a time to, for people to celebrate love and romance, and, it's candies and flowers and dates, or, children exchanging these little Valentine's cards that are incredibly cheap. And I remember when I was a kid, hoping to get a lot of Valentines in my Valentine's box at school. What's that? Yes, candy. Candy's good. Right. Well, I mean, depending on what's on the paper one, it might be my favorite superhero. There are all kinds of Valentine's Day cards. And now, apparently, in a lot of schools, the children don't choose the recipients, So, I mean, traditionally, you give a Valentine to someone you like, right? Here, I'm giving you a Valentine. Will you be my Valentine? But now, everybody brings Valentines for everybody. So I guess we all love each other, which is good. But then there are probably some kids who think, do I really have to give a Valentine to that person? So Valentine's is interesting, and it's, even before I started looking into the history of it, it was a little bit of a scandal for me, because I haven't always had a special person to celebrate Valentine's with. And sometimes I've had someone to celebrate Valentine's with, but just didn't really feel like celebrating. There's so many different possibilities. And so, sometimes there will be a celebration of singlehood on February 14th. One year I had a celebration of platonic love. A bunch of single friends just got together and played games and ate candy. There's so many different ways. This past week, I celebrated Valentine's Day by being sick. But Valentine's Day started out as a time to remember and commemorate a saint. So a person who was remembered posthumously as special, sacred, holy in some way. And that person's name was Valentine or Valentine or Valentinus. But apparently there were more than one. At least two, maybe three. At least two of which were executed in the same way on the same date, February 14th, but in different years by the same emperor, I think. So, whom exactly do we remember on St. Valentine's Day? We're not real sure. And plus, we don't really know much about this person. We have legend that tells us that at least one of them, or maybe a combination of them, got in trouble for marrying people, for performing marriages, because Christian marriages were illegal at the time, and this was a Christian priest. Apparently, he also got in trouble for trying to convert the emperor's daughter. I can see how that would be a dangerous thing. Some people say that the first Valentine ever given was by Valentine to the emperor's daughter, and apparently he signed it, "Your Valentine." All kinds of legends. It didn't become a romantic holiday until a few centuries later. But I think it was around the 3rd or 4th century AD that it became a day to remember Valentine, whoever that is. But also some people have claimed that there's some connection between Valentine's Day and Lupercalia. Now, Lupercalia was a pagan celebration from, I think, the 3rd century BCE to the early CE era, maybe 5th century. It's been a long time since there's been any evidence of this celebration happening. But in this pagan celebration, this pagan celebration was quite different than what the pagan experiences that we have. There was a whole bunch of nudity, a whole bunch of open sexuality publicly. A specific group of priests would sacrifice goats and then use the goat skins to go around whipping people, and apparently that helped with fertility. We don't do that here. All of that would be rather scandalous. And then other historians say, there's no connection there. I mean, these two events, Valentine's Day and Lupercalia, happened in roughly the same time of year, but neither one really led to the other one. And in a way, that seems to be the historical argument with a lot of holidays that happen around the same time of year. Did one lead to the other? Did one influence or shape the other? And some people say yes, and are very convinced. And other people say no way. And how can we really know with a lot of these legends? But there's been a lot of scandal in the history of this time of year. And I'm not a huge fan of the commercialization of Valentine's Day. But I'm not opposed to candy. I'm not opposed to love. In fact, it's good to be reminded of love. I think it was Gene in a recent meeting who said that he didn't need to celebrate Valentine's Day because he celebrated love every day. Such a sweet thing to say. So if we remember love, if we celebrate love, what is love? Let's see, the Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines it as strong affection for another arising out of kinship or personal ties. So it's this lovey-dovey feeling, or attraction based on sexual desire, affection, tenderness felt by lovers, affection based on admiration, benevolence, or common interests, and assurance of affection. All of that is part of definition 1. Definition 2, warm attachment, enthusiasm, or devotion. Or it also can refer to the object of attachment, devotion, or admiration. such as, a sweetheart or darling. In British, it's used as an informal term of address. It's also an unselfish, loyal, and benevolent concern for the good of another. I think that's a very deep kind of love right there. It also can refer to a god or a person's adoration of God. In fact, in the Christian Science tradition, it's capitalized as a name for God. And in many traditions, there's a connection between love and the divine. And of course, as a verb, it can be to hold dear, to feel passion, and so forth. It also can mean to thrive in, like the rose loves sunlight. A helpful definition for us is seeking the good of another. Caring about someone and wanting the best for them to the point that we are willing to act in that direction. And I try to let that guide my life. And sometimes it's hard. Because sometimes we have to make hard choices. Sometimes we have to be very real with ourselves because we have limits. We can't completely love everyone at that level. In a way, we want to love the whole world, right? But to what extent can we really seek the best for everybody in the world? It's kind of hard. And so we love a few people, maybe one or two, maybe a few more. And we can focus on them, focus on what's good for them. And this has become really real for me because of my life. I love UUFF. And I love my students. And they are far apart. And I'm coming to the realization that, I can't continue doing both. And so I'm finding a way to love better. And that's going to involve leaving one of the groups. So sometimes love requires hard choices. Now, thankfully, I know where I will be after I make that decision because I have loved ones here. Loved ones who are closer to me than any of you and any of my students. So I don't know exactly how, or exactly when, but in a few weeks. But I'm not making any firm decisions right now. But I want you to know that I love you. And that I want what is best for you. I want what is best for all of us. And sometimes that's hard. But we can love each other and we can seek the good in each other's lives and help each other become the best versions of ourselves. We are seekers. We are explorers. And we are all so very different. And that's beautiful. That's lovely. Amen.
Let's sing. Hymn number 131, Love Will Guide Us. Yes, yes, love will guide us. All rise as you are able. You ready, John? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
please join me as we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
We'd like to close the choir's part of the service today with May Your Life Be as a Song by Jim Scott.
I don't know what to say. I love UUF too. What a service this has been. Thank you. So, Rev. Stephen, a few closing words.
When I read our order of service, I open it up on the top of the first page. It looks kind of like I'm the scandal of Valentine's Day. The scandal of Valentine's Day, Reverend Dr. Stephen Gaines. I am the scandal. Earlier, we heard the song, "Make Me an Instrument," and it said, "Make me an instrument of peace," and that comes from a traditional prayer. And a few weeks ago, I shared a different version of that prayer that actually was shared by Sean on social media, and I found it. It's a reversal of it. And both messages can be helpful, but this one is, "Spirit, make me a channel of disturbance. Where there is apathy, let me provoke. Where there is compliance, let me bring questioning. Where there is silence, may I be a voice. Where there is too much comfort and too little action, grant disruption. Where there are doors closed and hearts locked, grant the willingness to listen. Where laws dictate and pain is overlooked, when tradition speaks louder than need, grant that I may seek rather to do justice than to talk about it. Disturb us, O Spirit, to be with as well as for the alienated, to love the unlovable as well as the lovely. Make me a channel of disturbance. And now we have a postlude and refreshments.